Hey folks, welcome back to Pokémon Y. Dati from the future here, once again, commentating over a section of gameplay that my past self accidentally forgot to record the commentary for. We're here in Couriway Town, which is a rustic little town here. It's got waterfalls. It's nice and quiet and quaint. I like it. And we are going to meet Sycamore here somewhere. He didn't say exactly where, so I suppose we'll just have to run around and find him. Also, this lady, don't worry about this lady. She has event Pokemon for me to pick up, which I will do at some point, but not now. I don't know when. But yeah, let's take a tour around Couriway Town. It's got the river running through it. That's very nice. I like that they've had this river kind of running all across the eastern side of the continent. Is it a continent? The region, I suppose. It's a town connecting differences. I don't know what that really means. Having now recorded all the whole town and talked to everybody, I don't know what that has to do with anything. But okay, we'll roll with it. Anyway, this child wants a Pokemon to use Nuzzle on them. And, I mean, if that's what they're into, I guess I will help facilitate that. And this is the second person in this town who has made a comment about turning into a Pokemon. It's a little weird. Because again, I don't think there's anything in this town that has to do with turning into a Pokemon. Unless this town appears in Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which I don't think it does. But yeah, it's a relatively small-ish town. Certainly no Lumiose, but not even a Comarine or a Shallower, I would say. Up here we have actual train tracks rather than a minecart track. This lady will give you U-turn. U-turn is kind of like a bug-type Volt Switch. Although really, I think U-turn came first. It's a decent move, pretty strong. Causes you to switch out. And there is a piece of candy lying here at the train station, just on the ground. Seems legit. I don't know if any trains actually come here. I know there's like the station in Lumiose or something, but I don't know. Here's Sycamore. Sycamore is here to say hello and apologize for Lysander doing all the bad things, because Sycamore just apparently didn't notice the fact that Lysander was saying some really freaking creepy stuff about, like, trying to make the world more beautiful and perfect. Like, didn't raise any alarm bells, I guess. Or maybe he didn't want to believe it because he wanted to think the best of Lysander, and he didn't want to have that on his conscience, but it came about eventually. Anyway, you'll recall the first time we met Professor Sycamore in Lumiose, he had a team of Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle. Now, those Pokemon have all evolved into their final forms, Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise. And all level 50. It's not quite bookending because this isn't like the very end of the game, but I do think it's a neat way to show that bit of progression. Because Sycamore, we've talked to him multiple times. He's been present in the plot, but we haven't fought him since then. So we can see that amount of growth. Anyway, Dana, not a good matchup there. I had her up front because she was the lowest level, but not a good matchup. Vivi, I have a lot of things I could use against Venusaur, honestly, but Vivi is who I wanted to use today. Yeah, so Venusaur it's a grass poison type, so your psychic types will work, your ground types will be neutral. I don't remember what else poison is weak to, off the top of my head. And then obviously you can exploit its grass weakness with things like Bug Buzz. And Dana got the level up anyway. Good. Next up is Charizard. Everybody knows Charizard. Everybody loves Charizard. Vivi does not have much to use against Charizard. And in fact, I don't really have a great option against him. Technically, Ava could come in with a Rock Tomb for quadruple effectiveness there. But hell if I'm going to bring in an Ice type with bad special defense against a Charizard. I don't know what moves it does, but it might have Flamethrower or something along those lines, so just overall risky business. So instead it brought in Robin for my own Fire Flying type, and beat him at his own game. Taken care of. And then finally Blastoise. Blastoise, my personal favorite of the third stage Gen 1 starters. Actually, come to think of it, Wartortle's my favorite of the second stages, and Squirtle's my favorite of the first stage. So, Squirtle supremacy, basically, is what I'm saying. So yeah, bring in Will to resist its Water-type moves, and hit it with a super effective Seed Bomb. Done and dusted. And yeah, that is our second match against Sycamore. It's wasn't too tough, but I do like its presence. It shows a bit of growth for both us and him. Probably less so him and more his Pokemon and those starters specifically. Anyway, a treasure of his is hidden in this town. And come to think of it, when I was recording this, I completely forgot about that. So I have no idea what that is. I didn't pull out well, I did briefly pull out the dowsing machine, but I don't know if that was the prize. Anyway, got waterfalls up in here. Very cool. Very pretty. We don't have waterfall as a move yet, so we can't traverse any of them, unfortunately. Also, we cannot surf. Cannot surf on that river. The bank's too high. Oh yeah, this lady. So she'll quiz you on your starter Pokemon in terms of height and weight. And if you talk to her again after getting it wrong, she will just let you try again with the same questions. So trial and error is an entirely valid way of approaching this scenario. As I demonstrate here, because I don't know anything about heights and weights other than the fact that Wailord is frickin' gigantic. So, for getting both of those answers right, eventually, she gives you a Miracle Seed. I am assuming that she'll give you the type boosting item that corresponds with your starter Pokemon's type. So I assume she would give you a Charcoal or a Mystic Water, accordingly. Cannot verify, but, well, I mean, can verify. I Bulbapedia open another window, but I'm not going to verify is what I'm saying, because I don't do research for this series, which is a lie. I totally do research for this series, just not nearly as much as for Leaf Green versus Blue. Anyway, it's a photo spot. I like this photo spot a lot. I think it's a really nice place to take a photo. It's part of the town we haven't seen yet. It's got a bunch of narrow waterfalls all on this cliffside. You've got the waterfalls kind of verticality paralleling the train station over on the left there. And so I decided, hey, I actually kind of want to play around with the size and the focus for this one. So If you'll pardon me, I'm going to mess with the size and the focus and the zoom and stuff here. And completely rediscover what the heck all these different options do. Yeah, no. Unfortunately, the out of focus stuff on the 3DS here doesn't look that great, I have to say. You know, you can make artistic out of focus looking stuff, but it just doesn't look very good on the 3DS. Anyway, I zoomed out here because I love the geography here. I think it's really interesting and makes a lot of really interesting shapes for the photo. So, yeah, keeping that. It's one of the photos that I'm actually very happy about. It's not just like, oh, I like photos, but I'm bad at them. I'm pretty happy with that photo. Anyway, we've got another hotel here. I don't remember where the last hotel was. It might have been in the last town. It might have been farther away than that. I already have forgotten. But what does a cluncher shoot when its internal gas explodes? Well, it is a water type. So I guessed water, and I was right. And this is Scald. Scald is a water type move that burns the opponent, or has a chance of burning the opponent at least. It's a pretty nice move because burning things is always a good option. I think that's really a reference to the distortion world or something. I don't really know. Anyway, opportunity for listener participation. What do you think about when you hear the word waterfall? Because I think about waterfalls, but apparently there are other things you can think about when you hear waterfalls. I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious if there are other things that come to mind. Like, okay, I'm being a little bit goofy here, but yeah, obviously the thing about words, and I say this obviously because I've been in literary theory, words come with their own connotations, and those connotations are unique for every individual who is listening, or hearing or reading the word. So your image of a waterfall is probably slightly different from my image of a waterfall. You probably have memories associated with waterfalls that I don't, and I have memories associated with waterfalls that you don't. So waterfalls mean something slightly different to you than to me, and that's partly why art is subjective, is because everyone carries their own connotations to whatever they're experiencing. But it's a waterfall, okay? It's falling water, alright? Anyway, he gave us the stealth O-power there. It's like a less good repel, because it decreases but does not eliminate the encounter rate. So I don't know why you would use it and not just a repel. This fine fellow sells fresh water. It's not as good as Moo Moo Milk, but I want to support the local economy. So I bought it, and gives you an oranberry as well. Very nice. Here's where we took the photo. I do like it a lot. You've got a bunch of narrow waterfalls, kind of multi-layered cliff there, rather than just being a sheer face. And then, fun, cool thing that you should be aware of. There's a hidden item, a prism scale. And this is actually a respawning prism scale. It respawns occasionally. Not regularly, just occasionally. But that will allow you to evolve Feebas without dealing with the whole beauty stat business. You can just trade it while holding that. Anyway, we're almost done exploring Couriway. This is the exit down to Route 19. And down here, there is a little place where you can surf, and there's a waterfall. And originally, I ran back and got Lapras and surfed there, and found that there's actually nothing there if you can't use waterfall. No items, you can't even cross to the other bank, so it's completely pointless, so I'm cutting it out. Next time, we will go on to Route 19, which is a cool place for cool people. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time.